uSports Central, Adam Deal, Charles Ashley the 7th, the 8th, the 9th. What are you, Charles Ashley the 3rd?
Well, if all goes well in life, I guess I can go shoot for 7 or 8.
You got 2 girls right now, though,
I'm
man.
Okay,
are you going
man.
for number 3?
I'm good right now.
Okay.
Okay, that's it.
All right, well, then, if you're good, let's settle down. Let's talk some 3 and out here, and let's get to our first topic of the day, and that's, of course, recapping Wednesday night hoops as we normally do. Okay, so Sandia goes to 9-9. They have a win against Monzano at Monzano, but it's the way they did it, Charles, finally asserting themselves. Coach Broussard, as bad as things look, has to be happy with where his situation is right now. I mean, considering he's got the inside track to get into the playoffs, and he's got a chance to really up his seed as he's climbing up those max preps rankings with a big game against Valley that we talked about either tonight or tomorrow night. It's scheduled 2 different
max
ways.
preps, yeah,
we're going to find out, but that's still a big game. But what a win for Sandia.
Big time win for Sandia. They're finally utilizing those bigs that we've been so big on, no pun intended, during the offseason. Remember, we're talking about how big those bigs were going to be, man, like rebounding, forcing teams to pack it in so they can't hurt you on the inside. That high-low game has been phenomenal all year, but what I'm noticing, the guards are starting to come around. They're handling pressure a little bit more. Cruz, no one talks about Sam Cruz. Sam Cruz is one of the best slashers out here.
Hey, listen, I talked about Sam Cruz early in the season. I knew who he was. He's a very good guard. He can even shoot the rock. When he starts to catch fire, he's dangerous. So Cruz on the inside
but
can
he's
really
learned how to drive and kick now to get those bigs, because what happens for him, he gets a better opportunity to use that skill to make baskets.
How they continue to develop through the season, but I think they're in a good position right now. They're on a nice winning streak. On the other end of things here, Charles, Highland, obviously Coach Danny Brown's got a lot of work in front of him with this team, a young team losing a lot of starters from last year. Mark Toe, who was supposed to be fantastic, their outstanding freshman last year, transferred. He moved states, so he's not back. They've got a difficult rebuilding era in front of them. They go to this game against El Dorado, 0-2 in district. El Dorado wins. El Dorado was 0-1 in district, so they needed it. So the Eagles finally get to even in district play.
Yeah, the Eagles, even in district play, you got to take whatever win you can get. I know how we talk about how down District 2 is right now, and it is down, but get the wins you can get right now, and then put the pressure on Sandia, because anything can happen once these two teams play. They've both been struggling all year, so the Eagles have a real opportunity, get a win Friday night against the Cueva, set up a nice little showdown with Sandia. Now, if they kind of control their destiny, they get this win against La Cueva and then Sandia. They pretty much control their destiny the rest of the season. Highland, you're right, young team, rebuilding. Coach Brown's going to maximize what he has over there, but when you don't have a lot and you're really young, it's tough to get the results that you want. And it's going to be a stressful year, but the best part about young teams, and take it from me because I know with the same situation with Albuquerque High, you're going to take your lumps, but if you got that same team come back next year, you got a chance to make some noise.
Okay, you always have to bring Albuquerque High in every conversation.
I'm giving examples.
Albuquerque High's always got to be involved.
I have to give examples.
That's all I'm going to say.
I have to give an example.
Okay, how about, hey, real quick, I just want to give a shout out to Del Norte and what they're doing over there. I mean, it's been a while since they've got some love. Well, you know, in 5A, they're starting to make a little bit of noise. They're undefeated in district play. They have a win against Capital last night. They're kind of making their way. They're going to be in the state tournament and maybe get a decent seed.
If you remember when we started talking about the season and we watched Del Norte, we said, that's not a bad team over
Delgado.
there. Delgado, 19 points last night, leading this team. They're 13-5 right now, 3-0 in that district. They're controlling their fate. I think they have a showdown with Bernalillo coming up or whatnot.
They've got a really hard schedule, too. I mean, they were in the APS Metro tournament.
And they knocked off a couple people in that tournament.
They did.
So I can see them making some noise. Delgado's 6'6" guy who can shoot.
He can shoot the rock, yeah.
That's a hard matchup.
He's fun to watch. If you haven't seen Delgado play, well, you're going to get a chance next week because Friday night we're going to stream it on ProViewNetworks.com. Bernalillo at Del Norte High School. That district rivalry is kind of taken to a new level based on how Del Norte is good this season, Charles. Let's move on here. Topics, and yes, it's time. Saturday, the New Mexico Lobos are going to be hosting San Jose State after their road trip. As devastating as things were last week in Lobos slipping what should have been a win against Wyoming, New Mexico which should be a win here. I'm just going to say it's a win. I'm going that far, Charles. They shouldn't even play the game. San Jose State should just stay at home because it's a W for New Mexico. San Jose State's one of the worst teams in college basketball this year. They have about 8 players on their bench. If New Mexico loses this game, there's going to be a lot of trouble. So look, that being said, they're going to go to 6-3 in Mountain West Conference play, which is interesting because San Diego State being 6-2 now and Wyoming 6-2, it's still within reach. It is.
Yeah, we're going to break down that Mountain West Conference because with a couple of things that happened lately, that conference championship seems very viable right now. But you're right, San Jose State, not tough. Their best player is Rashad Muhammad. By the way, the little brother of Shabazz Muhammad, if you remember him. Great player, but he needs him and his brother if they're going to win this game. I don't see Jose State even keeping it close. I think UNM comes out, they establish their dominance. It's going to be their type of game, 60 points, 65 points. They're going to win 65-48 or something like that, but not even close. I'm intrigued to see who's going to take this game as an opportunity to develop and get better. These are the type of games coaches want people to get better. Will he get a good home shooting streak? Because he's been shooting well on the road. How's Jacobs going to perform? What about a Jet? How are these guys going to play some good games? Can Delaney get a really big scoring performance? That's what I want to see.
Can Jordan Goodman kind of find his place into the New
game.
Mexico Lobos system? I mean, I feel like some games he has an okay game, and in some games he's not even there, like Wyoming. He wasn't even there. So it'll be interesting. Hugh shooting at home. He hasn't shot good at home. He shot good everywhere else except for home, which is weird. But I think Hugh's kind of found a new fire based on events in UNLV.
That's
you know
what
what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I think the team is kind of getting united. I know it was a loss at Wyoming. That's a tough place to win. Even if we're good, our best teams in Wyoming was always tough. We'd win in overtime or what have you the last couple years before this. So it's difficult. They let one slip, but I think this team is gelling. I really do. I think they're gelling at the right time. This will be a win against San Jose State. And I think they had a whole week to kind of get better and prepare for this upcoming Mountain West schedule.
And get healthy. The guys who are a little banged up, a little beat up. Goodman's been banged up. Logwood has been a little banged up. Devin Williams was exhausted, so now he got a little bit of rest.
That's a little ridiculous.
But with that being said, good game for these guys to kind of tinker with some things to moving forward into this Mountain West standings right now, because right now they're still in the race. They have a good opportunity to
pencil them in at 6-3.
Pencil?
Right?
I thought. Wait a minute. You just said with so much confidence that this is, they don't even need to play the game.
No,
now you're saying a pencil?
They should just forfeit the game.
A pencil.
San Jose State should forfeit the game.
Mark that thing. Put ink it down.
Yeah.
They're gonna get this. So
you better be right. You're gonna look silly.
Man, you just said pencil. Terrible.
All right, so New Mexico will take on San Jose State. We'll review some more high school hoops when we return. You're watching uSports Network.